I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to.
Whoopi Goldberg has reportedly vanished. No goodbye, no dramatic walk-off at the view table. Not even a cryptic Instagram post. Just gone. Sources claim she fled the U.S. as an $800 million defamation lawsuit from rising conservative star Karoline Leavitt gained serious traction. This isn't just a legal scuffle. It's turning into a full-blown media meltdown inside ABC. Chaos reigns. Producers are scrubbing emails, ad deals are on ice, and PR teams are strategizing, read, panicking. The lawsuit was recently fast-tracked, and just days later, Whoopi allegedly boarded an international flight. Some say it's just a break, but behind the scenes, people are whispering one word. Asterisk escaped. So what happened? Why did this lawsuit blow up so fast? And what did Whoopi say that got her into this mess in the first place? We're diving deep into the timeline, the legal firestorm, and the behind-the-scenes panic at ABC. Strap in, because this isn't just a story, it's a reckoning. And if you're here for the drama, hit that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered breakdowns of stories the mainstream won't touch. Ready? Let's break it down layer by layer, meltdown by meltdown.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Let's rewind the tape. What was supposed to be a routine guest appearance quickly morphed into a high-stakes ambush. Another political commentator entering the view, but Karoline Leavitt wasn't just any guest. Young, sharp, and unapologetically conservative, she stepped into the lion's den fully aware of where she was, and completely unshaken. Perfectly poised, hair in place, posture upright, eyes locked in. Karoline took her seat, smiled, and waited for the fireworks from the moment the segment kicked off. You could feel the tension. This wasn't a debate. It was a setup. Joy Behar struck first, brushing off Karoline's credentials with a condescending laugh. She mocked her age, questioning how someone barely old enough to rent a car could have any business discussing national policy. Then Sunny Hostin stepped in, arms crossed, voice sharp. She lobbed the phrase white privilege like a grenade, implying Karoline hadn't earned her platform. She inherited it. Sunny accused her of being a puppet for outdated, right-wing ideals, and then came Whoopi with a slow lean, a smirk, and that signature eye roll. She delivered the comment that would later ignite a legal firestorm. You're not here because you earned it. You're a product of right-wing pity politics. Laughter erupted. The co-host smirked. The camera zoomed in on Karoline's face, clearly expecting reaction. Maybe tears, maybe outrage, something viral. But Karoline didn't flinch. No comebacks, no sound bites, no theatrics. Just a calm smile. The kind of restraint that comes from being underestimated one too many times what they didn't see. Karoline wasn't backing down. She was gearing up. No Twitter rants. No podcast exposés. No public meltdown. She quietly left the studio and called her legal team and asterisked the view. They had no clue what was coming.
Rich that the View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on.
The internet woke up to a shockwave. Karoline Leavitt sues the View for $800 million asterisk in a landmark defamation case. Screenshots of the lawsuit spread like wildfire. TikTok creators broke it down line by line. Legal analysts called it a declaration of war against mainstream media bullying, but this wasn't your average defamation suit. It was a 100-page cannonball, accusing Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and ABC of deliberate character assassination, on-air sabotage, and coordinated defamation for political gain. And it came armed with receipts. Karoline's legal team dissected the broadcast down to the millisecond. Eye rolls, audience laughter, even cues from the teleprompter. But the real shockers came for what happened off camera. Internal memos, production meeting notes, backstage audio. One damning email from a senior producer read, "Open soft with Joy. Joke about youth. Let Sunny pivot to race angle." Whoopi delivers the ideological kill shot. Another Slack message said, "Karoline is trending. Go hard. This is our moment." Scripted, staged, strategic. And now, exposed. Legal experts across media platforms agreed. This was a spontaneous banner gone sideways. This was a coordinated takedown on live television. And it was all documented. Karoline's attorney went live nationwide with a bold statement. This isn't about silencing opinion. It's about protecting integrity. No woman should be invited on a platform just to be dismantled for sport. ABC went silent. PR team scrambled. The media firestorm was immediate, and Karoline, she was just getting started.
think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple.
Let's set the scene. It started with a smirk, and now it is storm at first. Whoopi Goldberg did what Whoopi does. She laughed it off. On air, she dismissed Karoline Leavitt's $800 million defamation lawsuit like it was political theater, dust on her shoulder. But behind the scenes, the cracks began to show. ABC insiders whisper about her showing up late to tapings, clashing with producers, skipping rehearsals, and flat out ignoring segment notes. You could cut the tension with a knife, one writer said. She was spiraling and trying not to show it, then it got real. A court summons wasn't just sent. It was hand-delivered to ABC headquarters. Not a courtesy letter, not vague legalese. A formal order. Whoopi's team tried to downplay it, calling it routine, but nothing about this was routine. Karoline's legal team had just filed a motion to fast-track the case, citing overwhelming public interest and time-sensitive reputational harm. The court agreed suddenly. Whoopi wasn't laughing. She was panicking. One producer claimed to have overheard her whisper backstage, "I didn't think she'd actually go through with it." That was the moment reality hit. Karoline Leavitt wasn't bluffing. And Whoopi Goldberg? She was out of time with momentum shifting in Karoline's favor. Her legal team hit the gas hard. This was no longer just a bold lawsuit. It had evolved into a full-scale legal siege on The View and its entire production machine, and Karoline wasn't just leading it. She was locked in. Her lawyers demanded everything. Production meeting notes, internal communications, Slack threads, Zoom recordings, raw behind-the-scenes footage, even unedited teleprompter scripts. They wanted the skeletons, not just the summaries, and what they found? Brutal one-leak production email had the subject line, "Karoline pokes strategy to body." Even worse, have Sonny hit her first with a race angle. Joy can slide in with a not-qualified jab. Then let Whoopi handle Trump. We need her rattled. Make it look spontaneous. Another internal Slack message read, "Let Whoopi take it home with sarcasm. Trigger her with tone jabs. Keep cameras rolling for reaction cuts." Then came the court reveal. Asterisk, asterisk, never before aired footage, asterisk, asterisk. Whoopi, mic still hot, leaned over and muttered she's all scripted. Toss her a Trump grenade. Watch her freeze. The courtroom fell silent. One senior CNN litigation analyst said live, "This isn't accidental bias. This was a production strategy to corner and humiliate a guest. That's not commentary. That's character demolition." The internet went wild. Viewers who had once dismissed Karoline as just another Gen Z conservative began rallying behind her. Even neutral and left-leaning commentators started asking tough questions. The tide had turned as for Whoopi. She went from the View as anchor to completely MIA. No dramatic farewell. No final mug sip. No goodbye segment. Just asterisk on ABC issued a vague statement citing a wellness break. But even that rang hollow, especially when it came just 2 days before her scheduled court deposition. The timing was too convenient. Inside sources painted a darker picture. One junior producer leaked a chilling quote from a closed-door meeting. Whoopi said she needed air the next day. She was wheels up. Initial reports guessed she was at a wellness retreat in upstate New York. But then came the whispers. A one-way private jet departed JFK, bound for Florence, Italy, chartered under a private entity long associated with a Hollywood fixer. Other rumors placed her on a private Caribbean island owned by an A-list couple. And the most damning part? She left right after the court ordered all hosts to appear under oath. She didn't show. Legal commentators exploded. You don't disappear before a deposition unless you got something to hide. One noted. A Fox News analyst put it more bluntly. She ran Karoline's team. They said nothing, just smiled. In court, silence can be deafening. The second Whoopi's disappearance hit Twitter, it was chaos. Hashtag "Where is Whoopi" trended within the hour. TikTokers posted mashups. One moment, Whoopi mocking Karoline on air. The next, courtroom sketches showing a hollow-eyed Whoopi, followed by a jet engine taking off. YouTubers branded it. The View's Vanishing Act. One viral meme, Karoline, in a blazer, holding legal documents. Whoopi, clutching a passport on the tarmac, caption, asterisk, asterisk, Karoline went to court. Whoopi went to Italy. This wasn't just a right-wing moment. Even progressive voices were calling it out. This doesn't look like wellness, one MSNBC commentator admitted. It looks like running. ABC scrambled. Their press release was sterile. Robotic, we support our talent in their personal health journeys. The public wasn't buying it. Viewership dipped. Advertisers paused campaigns. The View, once a juggernaut of daytime television, suddenly found itself a subject of conversation. Not the host with one tweet summed up the shift the show that used to hold people accountable can't even hold its hosts in the same time zone meanwhile, as Whoopi disappeared into silence. Karoline Leavitt stepped into the spotlight, not with noise, but with Astor's precision. Picture this. The courtroom packed, cameras flashing, media from across the political spectrum watching. And in walks Karoline, no entourage, no theatrics. Just a navy blazer, a neat ponytail, and a binder full of receipts. Legal analysts were stunned by her calm, collected presence. One Fox anchor called her the calm before a media storm. Even MSNBC admitted, she's not performing. She's presenting. Karoline wasn't chasing a headline. She wasn't angling for virality. She wasn't yelling, live streaming, or throwing verbal punches. She was doing something far more dangerous to the media establishment. She was playing the long game, facts over flash. Strategy over spectacle. It was working hashtags like hashtag Karoline stands tall, hashtag The View on trial, hashtag truth over takedowns, and hashtag media accountability now lit up timelines from Instagram to X. TikTok clips of Karoline calmly testifying, juxtaposed against split-screen footage of Whoopi's meltdown. Were going viral by the hour. One TikTok creator put it perfectly. Karoline showed up with her hair tied and her case tight. Whoopi brought a smirk and fled another video titled, How a 20-something conservative Turned ABC into a Legal Battlefield. And one racked up millions of views overnight. Even journalists who once dismissed Karoline as just another Gen Z Republican were now walking back their words. Why? Because Karoline didn't come for a moment. She came for a precedent-setting win. And if court watchers are right, she might go down in history as a woman who took down a legacy talk show without ever raising her voice. So now, the question isn't, where is Whoopi? It's, what happens to View? Next, let's talk about the slow-motion implosion of a media empire.
Raised a few eyebrows using the Bible to support the idea of kids getting gender change surgeries. Take a look.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear. Very clear.
I would say this is a new low for The View, but it isn't. They've gone way lower before. It's certainly on brand for The
No one is scrambling harder than ABC. An internal memo, leaked and confirmed by multiple insiders. Didn't mince words. We are hemorrhaging trust, viewership, and credibility. We must prepare for the possibility of cancellation. Yikes. Joy Behar is reportedly furious. Sources say she told execs she feels thrown under the bus and is ready to walk. As for Sunny Hostin, her legal background, once seen as an asset, is now a liability. Headlines are asking, how did the lawyer on set not see this lawsuit coming out behind the scenes? Morale has tanked. Crew members whisper in hushed tones. Showrunners are allegedly auditioning backup panelists, while network brass hosts daily emergency Zoom calls. The chaos isn't just internal. Asterisk advertisers are pulling out fast. Asterisk brands that once paid millions for commercial slots during The View are quietly backing away, citing reputational risk. Some have even pulled their entire ABC daytime ad packages, just to avoid being associated with the fallout. And while the show collapses like a house of cards, Karoline Leavitt says nothing. No tweets. No sound bites, no victory lap, just quiet, surgical momentum, because this isn't about political payback. It's not about conservative being attacked on live TV. This is about the media crossing a line and learning what happens when a target doesn't take it lying down. As for Whoopi, even if she returns, it won't matter. The damage is done. Her legacy, once celebrated, now carries a permanent scar. Just 2 words: defamation lawsuit. Asterisk.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new. No. But everybody's hip to you all now. Yeah. And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail. Yeah. I would like to
young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Yeah. Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because black people couldn't get into colleges, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was...
All right, folks, now it's your turn. Do you think Whoopi really fled the country to dodge the legal firestorm? Should ABC pull the plug on The View before it drags a whole network down? And is Karoline Leavitt now the most unexpected legal powerhouse of the decade? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm watching like a hawk before you go. Smash that like button, because Karoline didn't just clap back. She detonated a cultural reckoning. And Whoopi, she's not sipping tea behind that desk anymore. She's gone. While the world watches The View burn in real time. Stay tuned. This storm is just getting started.